Hi ladies, today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little spiral rolled roses. Super quick and easy. You're going to take a circle punch, and this is a 3-inch circle from the 3-inch circle die. But you can also use the punch. This is a 1 3/8, so I'm going to use this to make the smaller roses, and then this one makes the bigger roses. So all you're going to do is start cutting in and making a spiral from the outside in, and depending on the size of how thick you're cutting your spiral is how tall your rose is going to be. This one's going to be fairly short. Okay, once you get to the center, you want to leave a little bit of a base, and that's how we're going to finish it off. So you're going to start with the outside part of your spiral, and I'm going to use a quilling tool today just to make it a little bit easier. But in the tip of your tool, there's a little slit, and your paper fits right in that slit, and that will make it a little bit easier for twisting. But you can also go around a piece of wire or your paper piercer. So what you're going to do is just, and this is nice because it has a little ledge sitting right there to help you keep your paper even. You're just going to hold your strip in your left hand, and with your right hand I'm just going to start twisting and rolling this around itself. And this is, the bigger circles are going to give you a thicker rose. And we'll do a couple different patterns here. I'm just twisting that all around. I'll start to flare out a bit. Okay. I'm going to get all the way around to the end. Okay. And then I like to just pull that off, and then I'm going to let that rose just kind of fall out a little bit. It gets a little tight, and I want it to have a little more volume. Okay, and then on this end piece, that's where I'm going to add a little glue dot. You can also use some hot glue, and you could just hold your rose down in there and add the hot glue in the center. I'm just going to stick my piece with the glue dot in there, and that should hold it fairly well. And there's that rose. I'm going to show you a little different one. I'm going to first just make the outside of my circle. I'm going to cut off that straight edge and make it a little bit wavy. Okay. And just discard that, and then I'm just going to make my lines a little bit wavy. I don't want to make them too wavy because the back of the circle is going to be the bottom, so if you make it too wavy, it's not going to want to sit too flat. It might be a little harder to put together at the end. I'm just doing a slight wave. Okay. Take my quilling tool, slide my paper down there at the bottom, and just start rolling. Once you get that all the way around, pull it off, set it down, fan it out a little bit, let it loosen up, and we're going to add a glue dot to a little end piece. that down and press them down onto that glue dot. And there you go. It's got a little more of a wavy rose shape as compared to the first one, which was a little more flat. Okay, now this one I just used a 1-inch circle punch, and it's really small, it's not super full. And then this one I used, I think, the 1 3/8, so we'll go ahead and do a small one. These are super easy to do. They don't take much cardstock, so you can practice and play around with them until you get, you know, something you like. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and twist this one. And glue dot down at the bottom. Kind of fan out a bit. And there's a cute little small one. At this point, you can take your 2-way glue pen and draw it all over the top of the rose, and then you can dip it in the Dazzling Diamonds glitter. That'll give you a real pretty sparkle. These are nice because they do have a flat base, so they attach the projects really easily. If you wanted to do, add it to a stem, I'll show you how to do that. You want to get a piece of floral wire, and I'm going to cut off just a little bit of sticky strip. And what might just be easier to add the sticky strip to the wire here. And that kind of peels off. Okay, so you can see I've got some sticky strip wrapped around the tip. And then I'm just going to start my flower right here and wrap that around, and then I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it around the existing piece. I don't want my wire to see. Pull it down just a little bit. This wire's pretty thin, kind of mangling it, but I can fix that. Okay, now when you get down to your end, alright, I've got the bottom there and the top. I'll just kind of fold that out. But I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit of our Tombow glue to the bottom, and you could do hot glue too. I don't have my hot glue gun plugged in, so I'm just going to add this Tombow. And then wrap my ribbon or my cardstock around there, and then just kind of hold that in place until it dries. Okay, that's holding pretty well. So there you go. That's a little teeny rose on there. I would, if your wire's showing, you may want to just push it up a little bit. All right, now those are pretty small. You may not want to do one quite so small on a piece of wire, but if you you know, want to use the big ones, those would work really well on that and be really cute. You can add a base onto the bottom of the flower. I'm just going to use our 1/2-inch circle punch because this is such a small flower, and I'm just going to cut a little slit into the middle. And then I'm going to overlap it a bit to give it a cone look. And glue there. You don't want it too much of a cone. These flowers are fairly flat on the bottom. Trim that off a little bit so it's not sticking out. And it's kind of small, so I think I'm just going to poke a hole in the bottom instead of trying to cut one off. Then you can stick your wire down in there. Add a little glue to the bottom of your flower. And then push that up. And that gives you a real pretty finished look on the bottom of your rose. So there you go, quick and easy. It doesn't take much in supplies, and you're gonna wow all your friends with all the beautiful flowers you can make.